and subscribe to the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Now, today we will be featuring verbal highlights from the what? The Super Bowl or Benito Bowl,
Yeah.
as they called it, right? With Bad Bunny.
Benito Bowl.
Benito Bowl, Benito, featuring the New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, and Bad Bunny. The Seahawks absolutely dominated the New England Patriots 19-0 up until the fourth quarter. The Seahawks did not allow the Patriots to score once on a Super Bowl field. After a bit of racket from Stefon Diggs and other players, the Patriots threw Seattle's defense off and was able to score in the fourth. Both teams scored their first touchdowns in the fourth as Seattle only offered four kicked field goals for the first three quarters. After an interception by Love from Drake May during the fourth quarter, the Seahawks continued a total domination downfield in the fourth. On the third play, Drake May is sacked and a defensive touchdown is scored off the fumble. A.J. Barner was the first to score a touchdown in the fourth, followed by Mac Hollins for the Patriots. Seattle Seahawks kicker Jason Myers set a Super Bowl field goal record with five made goals. Mike McDonald is the
Wow.
third youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl. And I have your favorite host today with me, my guy Simbe. And so, Simbe, if you want to introduce yourself and take it away with your thoughts on this year's Super Bowl and how you feel about all these records that were broken.
Yo, first of all, the field goal record totally threw me off. I was expecting maybe the moment to get to some of these kickers, but it was actually a great Super Bowl for kickers. As far as the Benito Bowl, Bad Bunny, my favorite part of the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that I think it was the best halftime performance of all time, and I'm also going to say it felt like to me, it felt like the blackest Super Bowl performance I ever saw. It felt like I know, like they spoke, it felt black. It felt blacker to me than Formation with Beyonce, and certainly blacker than whatever Kendrick Lamar did. Like, and I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan,
Sure.
but this was better. This was so good. I liked every song. His album on my Spotify Wrapped was my most listened to album of last year. My favorite album that came out last year. Uh, I just thought it was a fire song. And first of all, to the American public school system, we really showing ourselves out because there's a lot of people who kept saying, why can't somebody American perform? Ladies and gentlemen, Puerto Rico is a part of America. It's in America. You don't need a passport to go. Show up to the airport with your driver's license. You can go to Puerto Rico. All right, that's all I got to say. He an American, y'all. He live in a part of America where they speak Spanish. Okay, he from America. Puerto Rico is America, y'all. Goodness
He's
gracious, I
American.
kept seeing that. I, I kept seeing people say that. Like, why not get an American? I'm like, they did get an American. His name is Bad Bunny. He's from a part of America.
They got to find a way
Okay,
to
they
throw.
have a like
They
it's
got to
like
find a way to throw.
Puerto Rico has a senator in Congress. Oh, I'm
Right.
sorry, I can't hear you. What do you say?
Oh, no, I said they definitely going to do everything they can to throw everything off.
Oh, for sure. What were your thoughts on the halftime show?
So I caught it like near the end or whatever, and it was cool. I mean, it was cute. I like the setup he had, like him growing up wherever he grew up at, specifically, and paying ode to that and things. Some of my Latino friends, they notice other things. They're like, "Oh, this makes sense. This makes sense." I thought it was cool. I mean, it was cute. Lady Gaga
Yeah, I
little
thought it
part
was
was cute. I thought he would have
that threw me
probably.
off.
I think that was the way you said that threw you off.
The Lady Gaga, I ain't, I
He
ain't, I
did
ain't,
that. He did
ah,
that to kind of like suffice like the
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 hook.
white viewers who weren't gonna watch the
That's what
show.
I felt, and I didn't like
Yeah.
that. But keep going.
But I feel like Lady Gaga is like, and she's called herself on multiple occasions a shapeshifter, right? So I feel like she can fit in
You
really
see,
anywhere. Like you could
you
put
see,
her with the black
she
crowd, you could
tried to,
put her
she.
with the white crowd, you could put her with
Did
the
you see her try?
crowd, you could put her with the Asian crowd. Yeah, like they
She
were
tried to
saying,
get her dance on.
they were saying,
Yeah,
yeah, her dance was not given, but it was cute
nah,
though.
not
It
at
was
all.
cute. I like I like what they tried to do with it. I personally feel like they probably could have brought in Kali Uchis to do the same thing. I mean, if we're talking about vocal wise and like who's able to sing certain types of notes and things of that, and I feel like Kali Uchis would have been a great addition. She's proven that she can do those types of music vibes, and she can actually move and dance like the proper way, right? I feel like if you were gonna go Latino with the Super Bowl, like just like we did with the Shakira and J Lo Super Bowl a few years back. I feel like they should have went all out and used, just different artists. I did like the other guy, bless you, the other guy that
Ricky,
I didn't know his name or whatever. I'm sure he's some like
Ricky
famous
Martin.
singer. Yeah, there we go, there we go. So I'm not. I
You
mean,
don't remember Ricky
I'm
Martin
just
from
not
when we was
familiar.
kids?
I'm just not
Living
familiar.
la vida loca.
Yeah, I might know the song, but I'm not familiar with the face. Like, just okay.
Yeah.
So with
Nah,
me
I'm with you.
personally, I will know a person's song. I will not know their face. I didn't know what Christopher Williams looked like until most recently, right? When I saw him, all the Diddy stuff came out. And I was like, oh, this is the guy that sung this. And then I saw him in concert recently. So, I don't match faces to names. I just hear the name and I'm like, okay, cool. I've met people like, what is it? The guy Sean, I think from Boys to Men. I met him. I didn't recognize him. We had a nice conversation and everything. He told me about who he sings for, and all this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta go look up which member. I don't necessarily. I'm not someone who cares to put faces to names all the time. I just like to enjoy your music and spend money going to go see you if I can.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my little what is the word, explanation as to why I didn't know who that was singing, but I knew he was someone famous. I just wasn't aware.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, Simba is so good. He's like so confused. He's like, wait.
No, no, I'm not confused at all. I just thought, I just thought it was the best
Yeah,
performance I ever saw.
I thought it was a good performance. It was good. I thought he was gonna bring out more big names. Honestly, I thought he was gonna do a little more. I thought he was gonna do a little more. When it ended, I was like, oh, this is how it's ending. Okay, but it was cute. I mean, yeah, bringing everyone together, there were a bunch of people on Twitter talking about Brazil, and they're like, yeah, Brazil's a part of it. I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I'm not a part of that conversation. Any thoughts on that, or are we just not a part of that conversation to that
I
point?
mean, I think they're talking about. I see what he's saying.
Hmm.
When they talk Latin America, I do
Hmm.
think they're not really talking about Latin America. They're talking about Spanish colonized America because if you're talking about
Hmm.
Latin America, Brazil should be included because Portuguese is a Latin language. But I think culturally wise, Portuguese, I mean, Brazil, they speak Portuguese. They got a different vibe in Brazil than, say, in Colombia.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And in Puerto Rico. So maybe
Hmm.
they got their own little dynamics uh, that we might not be privy to, but you know, I do think it. Not to take it there, but I do think it should open up a larger conversation about the diaspora's place in you know Latin America, and I'll just leave it there. I'll leave it there because the music, that music that they was kicking yesterday, hey, I know black, I speak Spanish, but it had a vibe to it, and I really love Black Bunny for showing that he showed all the sides of Latin America.
Yeah.
Whereas I do feel like some of the artists, like I remember when I first went to Brazil for the first time as a kid, or Colombia, I was surprised at how many black people there was. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because when you look on TV, they all look like shoot, I don't even know,
Light,
George
light
Lopez.
skin, light skin Latinos.
Right. But then you go there in person, they looking like you. Now I'm confused. And it's not just like, oh, one or two. It's like, hold on, everybody I see. What's going on?
Yeah.
No one told me this. You know what I'm saying? So I do like that he showed that. I think that's going to help with the togetherness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, all in all, Monica, we all one people, as you know, what I'm saying black people, whether it's Afro Latina, African American, African, Afro European. and we all got the same vibe. We all like the same thing. They be doing cookouts, we be doing cookouts, and we gotta come together. But as
Yeah.
far as the actual game, what do you think about the game?
The actual game, the Super
Yeah,
Bowl game.
The Super Bowl, the
Like I
foot
said,
sport game.
as discussed. I had something to piggyback on that last thing you said, but it's okay. We're gonna come back to it later.
No, no, please,
But
please, please.
yeah, I gotta gather my thoughts again because you threw me off.
Okay,
But it's
my
okay.
fault.
No, you're good. You're good. So the actual game. So the Patriots absolutely got dominated. Um, they just it just wasn't the Seattle deep. But both teams played good, decent defense. Seattle Seahawks just had way better defense. Like no turnovers. The entire game they had no turnovers. It just wasn't the night for the Patriots. I don't know what happened there, but the fact that they had to have a whole distraction between Stefan Diggs and the other guy, and I don't like to say the other guy because I want to use a name, but this is the more popular name, right, that we're hearing. The fact that they got into a scuffle and then the Patriots were able to score, it just it was weird because it's just like, okay, you have to do a distraction for y'all to score. Like you can't just play the game straight up. No, it got to be a little scuffle going on the sideline. The announcers got to hype it up. Well, no, they're not going to throw him out the game. They're not going to throw him out. Da 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 da. And that's how y'all score. It was a very odd game. Um, I do think that it should be low scoring, especially in football. Like it shouldn't be easy for the other team to just get across from your defense. You know, people should get sacked and things like that. That's a part of the game, right? It's not NBA, it's football. Um, on the defensive end, like I said, Seattle Seahawks did what they needed to do. They did what they needed to do also offensively. Even though they only scored like what was it, one touchdown. The rest were all field goals. But it just I don't know, it was a boring game to watch. Last year, you know, when no, not the Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles, my bad, were running all over the Chiefs, it was kind of more entertaining. You know, you got some fun looks from the quarterback. You know, he's like, "Yeah, we're losing. Whatever. Who cares?" You know. Um, this year it was a little more aggressive, but it just the game just kind of sucked.
I'm with you 2,000%. The
Mhm.
game sucked.
Mhm.
Um, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. They were really a dominant team. They pretty much dominated from the beginning of the season till now. But the game itself was a bit of a drag.
Yeah. I don't know. It
And
was just what are the
not
do
much.
you got the ratings up? Like, what are the ratings looking like? Should I pull them
Ooh,
up real quick?
let me see Super Bowl.
I think honestly, most people wanted to watch this Super Bowl because they wanted to see Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
Not
Bad
even being
Bunny.
funny, but I think that was a big part of the controversy. And I hate the fact that like people are more so like into the halftime show than the actual like teams that are playing. But that's just what it is. You know, they try to do the marketing thing with the Patriots and the Cardi B thing and everything, and then allegedly they've broken up after this Super Bowl or so. You know, maybe she didn't want to be with a guy who lost. I don't know, but you know, whatever happened. Apparently, Stefan Diggs invited like one of his baby mothers, and gave her like front row seats with her son or something like that. Allegedly, this is what happened, and Cardi gets upset, storms off, and they break up, and you know, it's a big headline now because you can't have the Seahawks win a game and you know be congratulated for it. No, it has to have headlines behind it because somebody didn't get their way. Just saying, it's not a
Yeah.
conspiracy if it's true. All of a sudden, you look up Super Bowl and Stephon Diggs and Cardi B spark rumors after Super Bowl instead of like Seahawks dominate like they did. So
So most of the conversation was about Cardi B and and Stephon Diggs. You're saying?
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm saying a
Oh,
lot of
and
it is still surrounding that, and
then let's
I think it's kind of funny, but
no. We can stay there. The only
yeah,
thing I
I
want
mean,
to
we don't
answer
have
you,
to make it about that. I'm just laughing because I can see like how that can be a big distraction from the
I just
Seahawks.
wanted to answer. I just wanted to answer your question, and then
Mhm.
like let you get back to cooking.
No, go
You
ahead. I'm
the
not cooking with
so
that.
so so the ratings, the full ratings haven't come out yet, but it does seem like there was a potential ratings dip this year for the
Mhm.
actual game, but the halftime show was the highest viewed halftime show in history. So I think pretty much if they'd have had a regular halftime show and not Bad Bunny, it could have been probably a little worse.
You think it would have been way worse?
If it didn't have Bad Bunny on at the halftime show, yeah, it could have been
I
bad.
mean, if they had Kid Rock at the halftime show, that would have been horrible.
Oh, it would have been probably the lowest rated Super Bowl of all
Because
time.
what? That's the best y'all could get. Y'all wanted to throw a racist halftime show, and that's the best act that you could get. You could at least got Uncle Cracker.
Yeah,
I
Uncle
mean,
Cracker.
I'm just saying, like, and why I thought it was gonna be like a multimedia show, you know,
Hmm.
but I didn't watch that. I'm not supporting that. That was silly. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't want to make this a political thing because this is a sports cast, but it's just getting to the point that it's just like in your face, right? We can actually go into the next situation that we wanted to talk about. We wanted to get into women's sports for a second, right? Coco Golf recently had a situation. Rakia Jackson also had a situation. So I don't know. Do you want to break down which one do you want to break down first? We can just go through the Coco Golf real quick because there's a big thing, right? Where there's very few black players that are famous tennis players that are on these big courts and these big competitions and things. And
Hmm.
so it's bothersome when a player as a stature of Coco Golf's nature, right? Number one, has won so many titles, right, at such a young age and is still winning. And she wants to express her frustration, but she goes off the field to discuss her frustration and is followed with a camera as she destroys her racket. And then it's made a big deal into the public so that people can look at her in a negative light when we all know that our counterparts that aren't as colored that play in these sports throw tantrums on the field all the time. But all of a sudden, because it's Naomi Osaka going, come on, all of a sudden it's an issue because someone of color did it. It's interesting. I'm just saying it's interesting. And the climate that we're in this country, I just feel like more people need to be supporting these women that are out here and they're doing the sport that they love and they just want to do the sport that they love and not have to be discriminated against or told, oh, you can't act this way because it's more aggressive because of your color of your skin. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's stupid. Everyone, all athletes at some point will express frustration because they are athletic. So that's how they express, whether it's physical, whatever, whether they want to destroy a racket, whatever, as long as they're not punching someone in the face, which brings us to our next story. Rakia Jackson. So the other day, I saw Rakia Jackson trending all day. I'm like, what happened to Rakia Jackson? She's one of my favorite Spark players. So I'm like, what happened? What's going on? Found out she was in a domestic situation. And Simbe, if you want to give a little breakdown of that, because you definitely, we talked about this, and we want to just express how we feel about this, because it's just not a good situation to be in. And our thoughts and prayers are with Rakia. So I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with Rakia. So Rakia Jackson was the victim of a domestic violence and attempted murder. I mean, basically incident with her ex-boyfriend James Pierce Jr. He was a rookie standout for the Atlanta Falcons. I think he had the most sacks by a rookie since Micah Parsons, I believe. Uh, but still, all in all, from the details that have emerged, Rakia was breaking up with him, and Rakia Jackson told the police that she and Pierce recently broke up after 3 years together. Claimed he was following her in his vehicle on Saturday, adding that she sped away when Pierce exited his vehicle and attempted to get into hers while at a red light. The WNBA star said Pierce rear-ended her car and hit her head on while she was driving towards the Doral Police Department in Florida. Getting this from the New York Post. Bear with me. Um, so yeah, they have photographs of Jackson's vehicle showing damage consistent with her account of what happened, and according to the affidavit from the Miami-Dade County State Attorney's Office. Pierce was charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, along with 1 count of aggravated stalking and fleeing or eluding police with lights and sirens. Yeah, so I mean, he was trying to make a dash for it. Pierce's vehicle struck the officer in his left knee as he was fleeing the scene. Okay, so he's also hit a police officer. He eventually crashed his vehicle at an intersection and then he fled on foot. He began to resist arrest by tensing his arms, not allowing officers to apprehend him. Per the complaint, which said he was triaged on the scene and later taken to Jackson West Medical for further assessment. He was released from the correctional facility on a $20,000 bond. Jackson told the police that she blocked Pierce's number to avoid contact with him, but he used an alternate number to text her. She sent a text to Pierce Friday afternoon telling her to leave her alone, telling him to leave her alone, and she wanted nothing to do with him. Pierce, his legal team says that their client maintains his innocence and that the full complete story isn't out. What's the complete story, my boy? Her car hit your car on accident. How did you hit? What happened to the police officer's knee?
Right.
Like, like, what are we doing right now, my boy? Like,
Yeah.
talk to me, young man. Like, what are we getting out of? Like, I feel like we being gaslit. Like, what are we taking out of context?
The true
Um,
crime touch on there is crazy.
you said what?
You didn't see that pop up on the screen. A whole true crime.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The
It's like,
Falcons said that.
okay, that's crazy.
See, and here's where professional sports rears its ugly head. The Falcons said they were aware of the incident, and we are in the process of gathering more information and will not have any further comment on an open legal matter. You know what that means? You know what that means? You know what that means? That means that hey, he a good player, y'all. He a good player, and we only gonna keep him off the field until we really have to.
Get a
That's
good look at
disgusting.
this guy. Get a good look at this guy.
The problem is you're gonna say take a good look at him, and there's gonna be a lot of people out there who's gonna say, you know, that they're not gonna have the same vitriol for his actions as we are. They might take a look at him and be like, "Girl, I want to take another look at
Look, I've honestly like been in rooms with people who have defended R. Kelly, saying that, oh well, the parents were wrong, and how can he help? Like, utterly will defend the actions of a grown man against a child. So I have no, like, without a doubt, do I know that people are gonna say, "Oh, listen, why did he hit her? Well, what did she do?" Instead of, "No, she's a woman. Women are weaker than men."
it." And this ain't even a
And then you talked about earlier. You even mentioned, like, because she's a bigger woman, because she's tall and plays a sport, people assume, like, oh, she can
she
beat
got
up a
it.
man,
Yeah.
and how dangerous that assumption can be. I'm just saying, we need to know the faces of these people who, you know think it's cute to do these types of things. I don't want to look at him anymore. Sorry, I can't. But yeah. Any more thoughts on that? I mean, it's a
Uh, it's
sad
it's it's
situation.
it's really sad. It's really scary. According to Rakia Jackson, it says that they broke up in September.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it also says that she was on his Instagram 2 weeks ago. As you know, in this world, relationships are fluid.
Yeah.
Uh, but at the same time, no means no. And at the
Right.
same time, we just hope that, young men, young women, just because if you're a young woman, just because you said yes 10 times, don't mean you got to say yes for your 11th time.
Yeah.
And, and when you feel like you want to leave, you should be allowed to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and,
And there
hopefully
should
he
be
never,
no.
plays in the NFL again. I mean, you ramming your car into somebody. I don't really see how we can, like, I don't really understand. I really don't understand where do we go from here? Like how you can
Well, it's a
still
mental
do certain
health. He
things.
needs a mental health evaluation. It's his mental health. He had an episode. He had a crash out episode. He's
Yeah,
okay. He had a crash out episode. It's his mental health. He didn't mean to
yeah,
harm her. He didn't mean to scare her. It was an accident. Things happen. We're human.
yeah.
That's how he
I
gets
just
to continue to play in the NFL.
You're
Things
right, and
happen. We're human. He didn't kill her. He didn't kill her,
I mean, but he was going to.
but he didn't.
Mhm.
But he didn't. And the fact that his team has his back to that extent just says like nothing's gonna be done about it. Somebody's a
That's
fan favorite. Somebody's a
yeah.
favorite of the owner.
Mhm. Mhm. Nah, I mean, 10.5 sacks as a rookie. That's how you get the Atlanta Falcons making the comment they just made, where they
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we gathering information."
He's
My
sacking on
nigga,
the field. He's sacking outside the field.
yeah,
He's
it's like,
sacking people with cars. He thought the
they're
car was a body. He's sacking cars.
and they're probably
He's
the
a
Atlanta,
sacker.
and they're probably just happy that this happened during the off season so that he doesn't have to miss any games. Because
Exactly.
they're probably thinking, good, this will be forgotten by the time we get to August. It's all
Nobody's
good.
paying any attention to what's really going on. Everything happening everywhere all at the same time.
Hmm.
Yeah, let the Seahawks take the headlines. Oh, she's just a WNBA player. Yeah, yeah, that's
100%,
that's what we're doing
unfortunately.
here. On a
100%.
more positive note, well, positive not for me obviously, but for all the NBA teams right now, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is out. He is injured, and they will be reevaluating him 2 weeks after All Star. I heard.
Hmm.
So luckily for y'all, you get to play Thunder without their best player on the field. Now, moving on to the trades and things of that nature that happened, because I know you've been keeping up with that. Um, so it's been some funny trades, right? So you got Darius Garland moved to the Clippers in exchange for who other than James Harden to move to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You have AD. AD got transferred where? Where? To the Washington Wizards. And
Hmm.
supposedly they're already saying he's not happy with the trade. But I saw a Wizards post that seemed like he came he already knew. He was here when it snowed. I don't know if they put snow effects on the camera after he found out he got traded or whatever, because it snowed like a week before this happened. But it was definitely there. The video was there. Yeah, we had some pretty fun trades this season. Now, the most disappointing was Giannis Antetokounmpo I thought he was going to be moved somewhere, and he didn't get moved anywhere. So it was kind of saddening for me because it's like I was looking for some more big names to pop up, like something wow, like some crazy wild trade. But this trade season just seemed pretty calm. What did you think about it, Simba? What did you think about the Harden trade first, and then AD, of course, coming to what is it, the Washington Wizards with D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the James Harden trade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought I thought they needed an upgrade from Darius Garland.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just didn't think you could have a backcourt with two small guards when one of the guards in Darius Garland isn't particularly that dynamic. And so I think with James Harden, what it does is allows guys like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen to get easier baskets, and and also Tyson as well. And then I think it allows Donovan Mitchell. He doesn't have to worry about getting everybody involved. He can just be in straight attack mode. And also now they also have another ball handler in Dennis Schroeder as well coming off the bench, particularly because the Lonzo Ball experiment as a backup guard has not gone well. And so I like that Cleveland was able to pivot and course correct, and I think it firmly cements them as the second best team in the East, um, next to the New York Knicks at the highest end. Now, that's not reflected in the standings, and as we know in the NBA, having the talent is one thing, but the problem is with the way the standings work, if you don't have a high enough seed going into the playoffs, it can really trip you up along the way, no matter how talented you are. You might have to face better teams earlier than you would like to, and it's nobody's fault but yourself. And Cleveland has dug a hole. As it pertains to the Wizards trade, I think the Wizards won the trade deadline. They gave up pretty much nothing for Anthony Davis and Trey Young. I think from the reports I've heard, the Wizards are open to an extension for Trey Young in the future. Obviously, the Wizards have probably zero intention of signing Anthony Davis to an extension, and Anthony Davis will most likely he'll either never play this year and play next year until the trade deadline, until he gets traded, or he'll never play for the Wizards at all. And in the off season, he'll get traded. And I actually think his trade value will increase by him not playing at all, because that way, whatever team trades for him in the summer is guaranteed to get a fully healthy Anthony Davis. And
Yeah.
I think just that alone increases his price as opposed to him playing for 5 games and hurting something again. So I can see why he's unhappy, because it basically means for the rest of this year, you're pretty much on paid leave. But from the Wizards' perspective, I think it was masterful. There's no way the Wizards can sign Anthony Davis to an extension. Our team is too young. I think we had the most players under the age of 22 before we
Mm-hmm.
made the trade. And I definitely think we want to get as many young guys minutes. We're also tanking because we really need our pick this year. So I think it was a really good trade deadline. As far as Giannis is concerned, I think it makes more business sense for the Milwaukee Bucks to trade Giannis in the summer, because teams can offer more draft picks, and you can also see where your draft pick lands as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for Giannis, he should have made more noise this summer. Giannis likes to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out as far as the trade demands go, and that lack of clarity from him is the reason why the Bucks are in this situation. Years ago, he threatened to leave so they get Damian Lillard. He keeps threatening, and it kind of reminds me of LeBron in his second stint with the Cavs, where like, okay, after they won a championship, it's you keep threatening, and then he finally leaves. Um, and I feel like it's the same thing with Giannis. He keeps threatening, and it's like at some point, it's like Giannis either say something or just like be quiet. You know. I
You don't
also
feel
think
like he was vocal enough?
I mean, if you want to trade, say you want to trade. You don't have to come out and say it, because if I'm the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks and my job is on the line, I'm not trading Giannis unless he tell me to. We talking about? I got kids in school. I got a wife at home. I'm not trading Giannis. unless the like if you want to play dumb, I'm gonna play dumber. I'm gonna
Mm.
play super dumb. I'm gonna be the dumbest if you want to play dumb.
So you think
But
Giannis is like basically like, yeah, well, y'all know I want to trade me type vibe, but like
nope, I don't know.
they're
I
on
don't
the
know.
nah, we're not trading you unless you come out and say it straight up. Yo,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
trade. And if you
yeah.
don't
Because
say it, then it's just like, okay, whatever.
yeah, because Monica's not about to be the most hated woman in Wisconsin. Because we had a secret meeting. No, you gonna get me off the hook because I gotta live here. When I trade you, I gotta live here. You know what I'm saying? People not gonna be throwing eggs at my car. Monica, you traded Giannis? No, because then guess what? Giannis gonna get traded, and then he gonna come out in the media and be like, "I always wanted to play in Milwaukee." He going, he seemed like the type that's going quote unquote
He's
demand a
gonna
trade
be
in
fake
secret.
about it.
Yeah, and then they're gonna make they everybody gonna be killing you. No, 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 my nigga, come out, say it with your chest. Then I'll trade you anywhere. But nah,
Yeah. Look, I
no
mean, look at what
sir.
happened with Luca with the Luca trade.
Facts, exactly. Look at and then
They still pissed. They still pissed. They still pissed.
yeah, and
They
then
still
if
and they
I'm
left Clay
Giannis,
Thompson by itself.
and yet Clay Thompson has fallen off, and I think if we could
That's crazy.
2 seconds on not just Clay Thompson, but there's this idea that people have that when people say, "Oh, such and such player is a shooter," so if he gets old, it doesn't matter because shooting never goes away. And I've always thought to myself, maybe the athleticism of a shooter does not show itself in the same way somebody who just dunks off 1 foot does.
Mm,
But I do think there's some type of athleticism that goes to coming off a screen, catching, shooting in the like.
yeah.
I think we have to change what we call or expand what we look at athleticism because I feel like athleticism people think swole, fast, jump. Whereas I think shooters can get old. You can get old as a shooter.
Hmm.
Like, and I feel like I'm watching it with Clay Thompson. Like, shooters can for sure get old. This whole notion that his game is not built on speed. I just think there's something maybe hand-eye coordination, maybe coming off that curl not as crisp as it could be. Something I just feel like he is cratered. Speaking of Dallas though, Cooper Flag. Oh my gosh. He took
Yo,
his game. He took his game up to a level, Monica, and he just left it there. He just left it there. He just said, "Hey, I'm just here now. This
did
is
you
where I'm at now. I don't know
did
what's
you
going on with the young man.
did you see the showdown between him and Conk Nipple from the
He be
Hornets?
having showdown after showdown. He had a showdown with
Yeah,
KD the
I
other day.
know, but that was a two rookie white boys showdown, and that was crazy. That was
You know
crazy. I
what,
think they both
Monica?
got like 30 points in that game.
You know, Monica. I always like to think bigger. You
I
know
did
who was
too,
the
but I
big?
was highly entertained
No,
by that.
no, no. I was entertained by that, but
Hold on,
who
let's see
should
if we can
be
pull up some clips while you're talking. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up some
you
clips.
know who should be the most nervous about that Nipple Cooper Flag showdown?
Who?
Because there's a white American boy renaissance happening in the NBA, and if
Luka
I'm the person
Doncic?
who should the know Roger Goodell,
Hmm.
because hey, do you want your son to be a 6'5" quarterback or a 6'5" shooting guard? Do you
Hmm.
want your son? Hey, the next Josh Allen. Josh Allen can run, huh? And he's strong. He's 6'6". If Josh Allen could go over and do it all again, hey, it'd be much better to be a small forward if you Josh Allen than to be
Right.
whatever you're doing in Buffalo. Whatever you call that. Whatever that is, if you Drake May, the Super Bowl I just saw, you fast, you tall, you white, you athletic, you Drake May. You wanna keep getting hit, or you wanna be Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves living a beautiful life. Austin Reeves, Austin Reeves. I play this game with my girl all the time. We always, every time we watch an NBA game, if we see a white dude off the bench, we always say, "Would you rather be this star quarterback or this white dude off the bench in the NBA?" And Monica, I'm gonna ask you, would you rather be who's the top white quarterback, Matt Stafford or Cooper Flag? You know what I'm saying? It's without no. I'd rather be Cooper Flag than a lot of these niggas.
Right.
Yo, he gonna be a problem. And see
You're
what
already
I.
a problem, and it's cool to watch, but
It's so cool to watch a
but
young
what are
player
we doing
develop.
with Dallas though? But what are we doing with Dallas
If I'm
though?
Dallas, this year, we not doing nothing. We letting the young man go off. Don't do. That's what I like
Let him go
about that.
off, but he needs a team around him in the future.
Not this year. Not this year. This year as a rookie, he just need to know what he can do in terms of the league. But next year, I do think though with Dallas, I don't think this is a 3-year situation. I do think winning can start next year, in my opinion.
Okay.
Unless you think differently.
I mean, well, at this point in the season, like we're not. What's their record? You
I
have
mean, they're losing team. I think
no,
they're.
they're not coming back from like you're not coming back from this, and then you just lost AD. You gotta realize the team has lost a little bit of confidence with the trades that they've gotten.
I think they have to tank because I think after this coming year, they don't have control of their draft picks. So I think what they decided to do, let's get rid of AD. Let's get rid of him. We don't need him no more.
Yeah.
Because I think they started the season trying to be good. And I think once they realized they were going to be bad, they decided, well, if we're going to be bad, Cooper Flag might as well take all the shots anyway. He 18.
Right.
We need him to develop anyway. The most important part of the two things are most important about this season: Cooper Flag developing, which he's doing. Cooper Flag staying healthy. Those two things. He's doing both of those right now. He's getting better. He's staying healthy, and they're losing games. So now we get to add another young player with Cooper Flag.
Right.
I think Dallas handled everything well. I think Cooper Flag is playing really well. But Monica, I'm asking you: you rather be Con Knipple or you rather be Bo Nix? I'm asking you straight up. Straight up. You rather be Sam Darnold, Super Bowl MVP, or Con Knipple right now? No, no, you
At
have to
this
pick right
point,
now.
because I know
Today.
the potential, only because I know not going into this blindly, I would say Nipple because I feel like there's more space to grow. I
Two,
feel like there's more
Monica.
space to grow. Even though with Bo Nix and like Sam Donald, right? You just won. He's gonna get his just due, right? But like, can you win again? And I think that's the problem we have. Like, it's like football is one and done. Once you enter that playoff game, you lose unless you get the wild card spot, whatever. It's one and done. With
Yeah,
basketball, it's the
more strategy.
momentum of I gotta see,
Mm,
Cooper Flag and Conk Nipple. I have to see them go at it for 7 games straight, and it's not always
yeah.
going to be like, oh, this
Hmm.
team's just gonna dominate. This team, everyone's not the Boston Celtics or certain teams. They don't dominate that way. So it's gonna be a back and forth of who's actually the greatest athlete. Not, oh, it was one game, I messed up a few
Yeah.
plays, I can get it right the next time. With football, you don't have that second chance. You only play some of the teams that are in the same conference, they only play the other team like once, maybe twice a year sometimes, sometimes none. So,
Yeah.
with football, it's more so a battle of the bands. It's one and done, right? Battle of the
Yeah.
bands don't go on forever. It's just like, oh, this band outdid you, and later on, yeah, you're washed up, and this band could still outdo you. You see what I'm saying? That's football. Basketball, it's constant. So you're gonna
Hmm.
play this team several times throughout the year, and even if you don't, at some point, even if you were to play overseas or something of that nature, like you're gonna be able to see who's the better athlete at the end of the day.
Quick
You know what I'm
too, and
saying?
it's going to be yelling at you. It's going to be
Yeah,
very clear. It's not going to be
yeah,
in football. Football, a team could win the Super Bowl and you still not sure how good they are.
right.
Basketball, it's going to hit. And the 7 game series part, I love it because the 7 game series takes 14 days. It takes 2 weeks. Imagine
I think
playing
it should
just
be longer. I think it should be longer, but then it will require people to play
well
longer.
every other day.
Yeah.
But even still, 2 weeks or at minimum is 2 weeks. At longer, it could be 2.5. But imagine you playing one basketball, you playing one opponent for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's so
Find different ways, different strategies to beat
yeah,
the life of a basketball coach just has to be like
stressful.
a fun, stressful, but so fun because you get to come up with so many different ways to beat another team. And when you finally do it, it's like, oh, my strategy worked.
Yeah, and the
You
cool thing
know?
is you can be thinking about the cool thing is you can be losing game one of a series, you can be
Hmm.
getting blown out, and in the middle of a blowout, as a coach of the team that's getting blown out, you can already start thinking, okay, what we going to do in 2 days in game two.
Look at what the Pacers did. What was that? I don't know if that was that New York game or if it was the OKC game where they had 2 minutes left and they came back.
Yeah, and see what I
Two
love
minutes.
about
In 2 minutes, they killed a 10 point deficit. Two
what I
minutes.
love about basketball is in a 7 game series, it forces everybody to come up with new ideas. Things that we've been doing the whole year, hey, we got to throw that out the window. One thing I loved about also, you get to see how teams react because it's different being better than you on a Tuesday in February. We just
Mhm.
got off the plane. You just got off the plane. We about to go to Miami. You about to go to Portland. Like we just kind of whatever happened in this game. I dropped 30. You dropped 30. Boom.
Mhm.
7 game series. It's a lot. It's slowed down. It's like
Yeah.
hold on, Monica. She do drop 30, but she usually go to the left and then come back right in a way that you played Monica 4 times this year. You ain't even think about it.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 weeks, and now I'm really on it. And now, how does Monica adjust when they take off her little bread and butter? You know what I mean? And like, I really enjoyed last year seeing Indiana. They didn't have as much talent as Cleveland or New York, but their strategy was we're gonna run everybody out the gym. We're gonna get shots up at a pace people never seen before, and
Yeah.
you could tell it was throwing teams off guard. They was
Yeah.
like, all they do is shoot, and they
All
don't
they
even
do is
care if they
run,
go
run
in.
and shoot, run and
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah, and it was like it really threw them off, and they had the perfect point guard for that style because Tyrese he get the ball gone. He pushed that ball up the court and like it. I started coaching. We trying to teach these kids, yo, get the pace going. Like get
Yeah.
they all want to stay there and then they try to get me back. I'm like, man, go. Like
Yeah.
who cares about the misses? Keep shooting.
Exactly.
Like eventually you're gonna tire the other team out. And it's so. And then the opposite of that was OKC. OKC wants to slow it down because they got Shea. And they
Yeah.
want Shea to take his 25 mid-range jumpers. So the cool thing about basketball is like, okay, this team wanna run all day.
Right.
This team wanna slow it down all day.
You
And it's
notice every time OKC they'll run with the Pacers the first quarter, maybe the second quarter. When they get to their senses, they slow the game all the way down and play incredible defense to the
mhm.
point the teams be confused. Like how am I here? How am I being double? But I can't get the ball over here. But they also running me off the perimeter. Like
They got
it's
good.
amazing.
They got. Okay, she got great defensive integrity.
Yes, they do.
Like they because really what you're talking about is personal responsibility,
Hmm.
especially the guards because my back is turned. So Monica
Right.
behind me, I gotta trust she see it. When I hop out to this shooter right here, I gotta trust my area gonna be covered. And then when you cover for my area, you gotta trust that I'm gonna cover another area.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a young team play defense like that consistently. It's almost been 2 years straight now. We're almost going on 2 years straight.
Yeah.
I think their defense is so good. I think I saw some statistics I could send to you that it's basically on par with the Bill Russell 1960s Celtics in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like what they're doing defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's amazing. But yeah, I do remember that. And remember in the finals, they what did they bench Hartenstein because game one because they wanted to run with the Pacers.
Right.
Silly.
Right.
The cool thing about basketball is I gotta play my game,
Yeah.
even though I understand what your game is. because my team is built for our game. We
Yeah.
can we cannot play your style because we got the 15 guys we got. You know what I mean? And so that's what's crazy
That's the
about
thing,
basketball.
though. With every player on OKC's team, he plays every player, so you know what you're getting when they come off the bench.
But you
Or
called something last year.
if they're a starter, you know what you're getting. I kind of feel the same way with Houston a bit, right? Houston has had its ups and downs this season, but when certain people come off the
They get
bench,
on my nerves though.
you know what you're getting. Yeah, I know, but you know what you're getting. Well, one thing I noticed with Boston the other day, they weren't able to get their offense right away. I forgot who exactly they were playing, but I was like, see, this was funny because they just traded Anthony Simons away,
I
and
didn't like that. I didn't like that. I
yeah,
didn't like
because
that.
he would literally, it'll be first quarter. Boston sometimes they just don't be getting their shots up.
They lost to the Knicks,
Yeah,
111-89 on
who
Sunday.
was
I'm
it? The
sorry, keep
next.
going. Yes, 111-89.
Yeah, but Anthony Simons would come off the bench, and even though he was only there a small amount of time, he gave them the offense that was needed every time. If you notice, his average was around 13, 14 points or so a game.
Yes.
Now they don't have that, but they have Vucevic, and Vucevic, he's getting his grounding in. Now he did have a decent game the other day, not the next game, but the game before that, where he came
I
out,
got you.
started off slow, and then eventually got his PRA and everything up. Like as far as just being present on the floor. This last game, he wasn't really present the way he needed to be present on the floor.
You talking
He
about
was there, but he
on
wasn't.
Friday against the Miami Heat, 98
Yeah.
96.
hmm Yeah, but against this last game, he wasn't present enough, and I'm like, all right, we did all these trades, right? Vucevic is the big piece in this trade, like whether you like it or not. That's the big piece that they traded for. He
He
needs to
had
be
off the bench. He
on
gave you
point.
11 points, 12 rebounds off the bench in that Friday game.
Yeah, he needs to be more. He'll fit in with the team. Honestly, it's his second game, second, third game. I ain't going not too much on him, but like you need to get the value that you traded for. You got to
My,
get the
cons-
value that you traded
my
for. Now it's good because he's a bigger man, and Boston was in need of a big man other than what's my guy's name?
Queta.
Cater. Yeah, other than Cater.
Hey, I like Queta,
I like Cater too, but with
but he
Vucevic
ain't
and
got no
Cater
scoring juice.
together, this can
Yeah.
be like it can be like spirit fingers.
Well, him and Queta can only play together if Vucevic is knocking down that three ball. If he's not knocking
Yeah.
down the three ball, then it's just two big dudes taking up too much
Yeah,
space.
taking up space on the floor, right? But
But my
that could be an
mhm.
aggressive defensive tactic though for them.
See, but
And
Monica,
Jalen Brown, you gotta realize Jalen Brown's really aggressive too. People sleep on his aggression. Like,
I,
yeah,
I'm
he's
I'm
aggressive as far as, but he's also very aggressive on defense. Like Jalen Brown's a force to be reckoned with. Like you put
I'm
Jalen Brown
concerned.
on someone like the Pistons, oh, it's a fight
Mhm.
every game, baby.
But I'm just concerned about like if I'm Boston, I like the idea of how many high level ball handlers they had with Jalen Brown, Derek White, and Anthony Simons. So
Yeah,
now you give up one of those ball handlers for Nikola Vucevic. Um, I don't know. That just makes. I think what I've seen in the NBA this year is that teams in the offseason undervalued the backup point guard position. And I think what we see, and you called this out last year, not about the backup point guard, but you were calling out how OKC got so many 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" dudes. They got like a factory of them same dudes who just come off the conveyor belt like Aaron Wiggins or Casey Wallace. They keep coming out with more dudes like this. Where they got Jalen Williams, they got niggas on the bench who was rookies last year who now they just playing. I've never seen them. Like they just got they all the same height. They all six
yeah.
seven. They all play defense and they all can make 1 to 2 threes a game. And they just get them off the belt. And I just keep thinking like,
And they're
dang,
consistent.
a lot of these teams really undervalue having a backup point guard, having a backup shoot like backup wings, guys who can come in, run the floor, run the offense,
Yeah.
and give you 4 assists a game when your point guard is sitting down. Like I just think I don't know if Boston made the right decision trading away Anthony Simons. I'm not trying to hype him up. He just last what was it on Friday? No, Monday, yesterday. Anthony Simons had 23.7 assists for Chicago.
Yeah.
You know,
See, this is the thing. He's gonna be a main ball handler there now because they've moved around so many pieces. Is weird now. Didn't they just move Kobe White? Where'd they move Kobe White?
Charlotte.
Yeah. And I'm
Charlotte
just
trying
like,
to run.
why? And
Charlotte trying to run you out the gym. Even though they lost last night, I can see what Charlotte is dedicated themselves. They say we got Conklin, we got Lamelo Ball, we got Kobe White. We are
they got
this
Jaden
thing.
Ivey now, like Colin
Yeah,
Sexton. I think they waived Mike Conley, and didn't Mike Conley go back and sign with the Wolves
yeah. I
again?
think you think he's going back to
Yeah.
the Wolves.
Isaac Okoro, he provides Matalas Buzelis. Yeah, I think this team's gonna be mainly Giddy, Buzelis, um,
I think
Jaden
that's really
Ivey
just.
comes off the bench.
I
So
think I think in terms of like who their future is, like who we
yeah,
planting our flag in, I think their future seems to be like they going Buzelis and Giddy.
okay.
Like in terms of like everybody else is movable, but these two gonna be our cornerstones.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know what kind of player uh Buzelis will be, or I mean right
I
now he's
think he's
15
gonna be one of
15
those
points.
ones because he's really aggressive, and I feel like he's really been going for it lately in the few games that I have watched him play in. I feel like Buzelis is definitely going to be one to be reckoned with. I mean, listen to the name. He had did the dunk contest last year, I believe it was. I think he has a lot of potential, like going forward, as far as like his aggression and things of that nature, on
Yeah,
both ends of the floor. And because of his wingspan, he's tall. It's a lot more that Buzelis can offer. And we may or may not see that with the Chicago Bulls. Like, yeah, it seems like, oh, let's
probably
build
not.
a team around him and Giddy. But, like, let's be honest. Like, no, we need to move Buzelis somewhere else. Buzelis, I could see Buzelis somewhere, honestly, Wolves.
Yeah,
I can see him on a team
yeah.
like that because of the amount of aggression he plays with. Wolves, I could see him with Detroit. I could see him with Houston, something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know what pieces would be traded for that. I mean, obviously, the NBA trade deadline is over. But I definitely feel like moving Buzelis around, he could definitely provide a lot of offensive and defensive power for wherever he's at. But I feel like he needs a team that's going to have his back when he's aggressive like that.
100%.
Hmm. Well, if we want
100%.
to get
James,
into actually speaking of the Pistons, we got a big player today. So, did you see the fight yesterday
I saw the fight.
between? You did see it. Let's go.
Hmm.
Let's go ahead and play this little clip real quick. I guess we could just play the silent clip. You know how they like to do. So, the play. This is what pissed me off about this play was clearly it was a foul. Clearly,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, here you get this. You get Musa Diabate going after Doran. Crazy work. But Doran, he first decided to smush him in the face. And I'm just like, why would you do that? He messed up my parlay, first of all, because I got to vent about my parlay every now and then. I'm sorry. I needed 30 from Jalen Doran. He was on target for that. And then he decided to smush Musa Diabate in the face. And then you got Isaiah Stewart hopping off the bench
Beef stew.
with Miles Bridges, literally, beef stew, literally hopping off the bench to come fight Miles Bridges. And I'm like,
Somebody gonna say, "Oh, Miles Bridges fight men now," because he was suspended a year for being his baby mom.
yeah,
So
I heard about that.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this was his chance to redeem himself. This was his chance to redeem himself. Miles Bridges has
Yeah,
been redeemed. He fights men now. Look at it. You see the guy with the sunglasses? Who is this recording everything? Hyping it all
Unknown.
up. It just
Yeah.
got too crazy for no reason. Like over a foul call. I think Jalen Doran said something to him like he said, "I f***ed your baby mama." Da da da. You know, something he said something to him because for him to get up in his face like that and then he smush him.
What they talk him off a
Look at this,
ledge?
bro. They talking him down. Like, it was so much going on. I was like, I'm just watching the game casually, and I'm just like,
The
why are
coach,
you
the co-
fighting?
the coach of the coach of the Charlotte Hornets is a funny dude, man.
For
Every
real.
time I
Like,
see it,
like,
every time I see him, man, I be dang near about the about the cackle, man.
hey,
I don't
bro,
know what type of time
one
he's
of
on.
he's one of them Negroes that he's one of them guys that you go around or whatever, and he be like, "It's okay, chill. Everybody chill. Everybody chill. It's okay. Let us pray." Literally, like
I
that's
like
what
the
it's giving. That's what it's giving. Like he don't be de-escalating nothing. Like when he be mad, he don't even look like he mad. He just be
yeah.
look at confused the whole time. Look at this. They all laughing. They think it's funny. He like, yeah, we got into a scat with, you know what I'm saying? The Detroit Bad Boys, the Pistons.
Number one seed Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, the Pistons always pissed off. You know,
Number
don't
one
piss
in the
them off.
East
Look at how chill he
Detroit.
looks. Like one of your best players just got removed. Like honestly, I think Charlotte lost this game because of those two. Because
Yeah, for sure.
first of all, Miles Bridges is offensive. Is a great defensive. Um, he's great defensively, and so you lose him and you lose Musa Diabate. So you lose your number one rebounder. You got to call in Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner's awesome, but like, come on, bruh. This was stupid. This was dumb. Cost you a game.
Uh,
And it's like, oh well, Detroit lost Beef Stew and they lost Doran, but it's like Detroit can adjust from that. They lose them like every game because they're always in
and
because they're always fighting someone.
You know what? If Charlotte would have won that game, that would have moved them up to number nine.
Yeah.
And Charlotte is only 5 game, which is a shame because Charlotte, with that they would have been what
Mhm.
4 or 5 games behind Philadelphia for the number 6 spot. Because Charlotte needs to try to get up out that plane.
Yo, I can't get over this. I can't get over this.
Uh,
They
right
was
now,
really
though,
throwing blows out this man.
I think if I had to give biggest disappointment of the season so far award, I got to give it to Orlando. You the 7th seed. You spent all that draft capital for that Desmond Bain trade, and you the 7th seed in the East. So now you in the plan. That was in the summer I told you I did not like that deal, Monica. I said I do not like this deal. You told me it was a good deal and to let it play out, and I was like, that's a lot for Desmond fucking Bain. And now you 7th. And one thing I don't like is when I see teams make decisions because I feel like they should have did what Detroit did. Detroit lost in the playoffs. They showed heart. Come back the next year and see what we got. I thought Orlando should have did the same thing. We who did they lose to? Boston. I thought they showed some heart. I think you bring that team back. Part of the thing with I hope Dallas avoids this with Cooper Flag. If they have a little bit of success, don't jump the gun and try to skip a step. That's where we see teams make a mistake. Like if you lose in the first round of the playoffs, try to make the second round next year. Don't try to, oh, we're gonna make some trades and next year we're gonna try to contend for a championship. No, that's not how basketball is not the NFL. In the NFL, you can go from zero to hero. You don't do that in the NBA. In the NBA, you got to build over some years. Like,
Well, I feel like the
don't.
problem with Orlando, though, not to cut you off, but I just feel like
No,
the
I was
problem
done.
with Orlando is that they have too many moving pieces. Jalen Suggs keeps getting injured. Their best player, Franz Wagner, has not been as consistent because he's been injured off and on. Even in that game where they played against the Grizzlies overseas, when they were in Germany, I think it was, they did good with Franz, right? Then they went to London and they had a bad game. And I just feel like the return of Moritz Wagner is not what I think we all thought it would be.
No.
I think we thought it would be way more aggressiveness in the games like it was before. And that just hasn't really been yet. And that could be because he's still recovering. Like, if you're an athlete or someone who works out, you know, your body strains and you have to recover, right? So I don't know if it's just the adjustments in general that Orlando's not making the right adjustments or whatever is going on. There's something going on there that's just not working for them, especially offensively. Jalen Suggs is always out. Franz Wagner has been off and on. I think if we can keep Franz, Bain, um, Banchero
Hey,
healthy,
speaking of Bankero,
yeah.
I was expecting Bankero to take a leap
But
this
he's been
year.
trying to take the lead, but he don't have no help. He when Orlando's shooting and they have no offensive firepower, they're depending on Anthony Black and Banchero to provide all the offense. And that's just not possible. You got what's his name? Their center that's dating Angel Reese. Wendell Carter Jr. He's not being as aggressive as he
He
needs
he
to.
needs to play like Angel Reese.
Yeah, he do need to play like it's like his girl harder than him, which is crazy to
Yeah,
me. And he just doesn't provide what he needs. He hasn't been giving what he needs to give lately. I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying, if y'all want to win games, you need to be more aggressive. Goga Batata, Goga
Monica said,
Batata
I'm
is
not
all
mad
over
at you,
Wendell.
but you asked. Monica just said, hey, I'm not mad at you, young fella. You just asked. That's all. You just
I mean, I'm not. I don't even want to say that because I feel like he provides offensive
you
when
said
he needs
you
to. But
said
just
about
start
the
Goga Batata over him.
Yeah,
Let's see
for
how it
sure.
works. Let's try
For
something
sure.
new because it's not working. It's not
For
making
sure.
sense.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
move some pieces around and see what we get. That's what Boston had to do to win that championship.
I mean, Monica, to your
Like,
point
come
about
on.
Bataze, how Bataze only playing 16 minutes, averaging 5 rebounds a game. Wendell Carter Jr. playing 30 minutes, giving you 7. What's going on? What's going on?
He's not
What's
aggressive on the glass, especially when there are bigger bigs or bigs that are more aggressive than him. It's like he punk out. Like, but Moritz Wagner, he not punking out, but his body can't handle it right now. So what are we
no,
doing?
no, he broke down. And as far as
Bring
rebounding,
bring
this is
Bataze to the front for me, please. Let's have him come to the front. No disrespect to Wendell Carter Jr. I've always liked
disrespect.
to see a black man starting. Okay? But
Disrespect.
Goga Bataze has been better on the floor in the little bit of time that he plays, and he's more aggressive. We need him to start. Let's just see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks.
Wendell Carter,
Looks the same. Go back to what you were doing, and then we'll
he's just
figure out
not good
what the
enough.
rest is.
He's just not good enough. Wendell Carter Jr. Like the problem is with this Orlando team for what they for not even for what they're trying to accomplish, just for what they gave up in draft capital. This is a utter disaster waiting to happen. Um, and it's going to get worse in years to come because I think they'll eventually get worse, but they can't even tank. I just think I just don't understand why they locked themselves into this roster. It's so damning. It's and Desmond Bain was supposed to provide this great shooting. I mean, he's shooting 36% from three. That's cool, but
He's
he's only
not even
making.
on ball like he needs to be on ball. He's not even on ball. He's not even on ball. He's not taking the shots. He's trying to play the background player. You are not Kevin Durant. He
Yeah, he's
thinks he's
not
Kevin
that.
Durant. He can't do that. If your
I
team in the
mean,
third and fourth quarter and your team sucks at shooting right now, you need to take more shots. What are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah. 34 minutes a game. He's giving you 19 points, 4 assists, four
Not even
rebounds.
that consistently. Not even consistently. Not even
It's that's
consistently.
not what you paid for, Joe. That's not what you paid for. Uh,
Desmond Bain needs to be on ball more. He needs to be in the game. I notice he likes to play the background, sit on the side, wait for a three to shoot that he's gonna miss more than likely because he's not taking that many shots.
I mean, he's second on the team in minutes.
And providing what?
I just think they never should have made the trade for him. I don't understand.
I mean, well, the way that they're trading away the Grizzlies, I mean, they got Jaren Jackson. They just sent him to Utah, and all of a sudden, Utah's winning games. So
Yeah,
maybe
but
they shouldn't
Utah.
have traded him away. Who knows?
You saw what Utah did the other night.
Yeah.
They blatantly tanking. They tried to lose their
They're
game.
trying to tank, but they're winning.
Yeah.
I know because they sat Laurie Markkinen the other night, and I was pissed because I was like, I just needed Laurie Markkinen to get to like 25 points or something, and he was at 22, and they sat him all fourth quarter when it was a
Yeah,
winnable, and it was a winnable game.
yeah.
I was so confused.
The Wizards did that when we went to the game last week. We were up in the third quarter, and the coach benched our starters, but the backups ended up winning the game. And so everybody who helped us win that game got traded for AD,
That's
basically.
awesome.
That's
I
it.
love when that happens.
Like
I,
they're like these teams are taking tanking serious. They're like, yo, you out here scoring 30 points a game? Yo, get the fuck up out of here,
Tank
man. Woo!
more. Tank more. You know what? You can't play. You can only play the first quarter because in the
Yeah,
first quarter you
you're
got
not
us
tanking hard
15
enough.
points. I be
Yeah,
that going.
you,
I be
hey,
that
if
going.
nah, but I'm with these teams though. I'm not about to be a 35 win team and just be floating in the middle forever. I feel you. I got it. I'm tanking. Especially look at Dallas. Dallas they losing games, but now that they got Cooper Flag, losing feel different when you got an 18-year-old
Right.
doing that. It feel like hope. It feel like, hey, we losing this year, but we can make plans for the future. It hit different. It hit different than if you the Brooklyn Nets and you keep winning 35 games and you in the 10th seed every year and you're not going nowhere and you got no hope. You just floating. You just float into nothingness. But look at
Exactly.
Detroit. They tanked for Cade Cunningham. They tanked. They got Jalen Duran. Now look at them. They got some juice. That's what you hope tanking provides to Charlotte Hornets. You got Lamelo Ball. You got Brandon Miller. You got Con Knipple. Now we got juice. It's lit. This is what you hope for. You trying to avoid being the Chicago Bulls. They're 24-30. They got no purpose. They have no. They have. They're in the ocean. They got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid that. So I'm with Utah. They asked the coach for Utah. They said, "Did you think about putting Jaren Jackson Jr. or Laurie Markkinen back in the game?" He said, "No." He said, "Fuck no. I ain't thinking about putting them back in the game." And Utah got something going next year. They're gonna have Keontae George. They're gonna have Walker Kessler. They're gonna have Ace Bailey. They're gonna have Jaren Jackson Jr. They're gonna have Lloyd Markkinen. They're gonna have Filikowski, and they're gonna have whoever they draft this year. Whoever they draft this year, AJ or Darren Peterson or Boozer. They going Utah gonna be a problem next year.
We thought
Utah
we
gonna
thought we thought the Trailblazers was going to be a big problem this year.
Yeah, we was wrong. I don't know what the Trailblazers got going on.
Yeah, I'm so confused. Like I'm so
They're
confused. I'm
they're
so
26 and 28 right now. So it seems like based on the standings, it seems like the Trailblazers are going for it.
hmm.
Exactly. They're right now. The Trailblazers are in the ninth seed. So if the playoffs started today, they would be in the play-in.
Hmm.
The Trailblazers would be in the play-in right now. That's a weird place to be in.
Yeah, I think I think these last few games cool, and then after the All-Star break, I feel like they'll be well rested. Maybe we'll see some better games, other besides the Lakers and OKC and the New York Knicks, the Detroit Pistons, the teams that actually try to win games. The Rockets. Who else?
The
Cavs.
Rock, the
Cavs
Rockets
will
can
rally. Cavs will rally like no other.
the
I don't
the
think I've
the, the
seen a team rally
Rockets
like the Cavs this year.
the
The
Rockets the
Pacers.
Rockets. I would say the Rockets need a good 2 week stretch because
Yeah.
right now the Rockets there's a gap forming in the West. So right now
Yeah.
OKC they got 41 wins, they're number one. But then San Antonio and Denver, San Antonio got 36, Denver got 34. I feel,
Yeah.
and then Houston is at 32 with the Lakers at 32 and Minnesota at 33. There's a little gap forming, and I
Yeah,
feel like
it's like
if you're
weird.
Houston, you need you need this last week before the All Star game.
Yeah.
Houston need both these games. They need to finish 2-0. They play tonight against the Clippers. Houston need that
Houston will take that against the Clippers because
because also
Kawhi
tonight
Leonard's doing everything for the Clippers right now, so they need to take advantage of that.
also the problem is the Lakers play the Spurs. So if you Houston, you can't let the Lakers win and you lose. You don't want to end on that note.
Nah,
Um,
I think Houston will definitely win this tonight. The Spurs are definitely going to beat the Lakers, especially if Luka Doncic is out. I'm sorry, the Spurs are just too good, especially if Wemby comes out and actually shoots threes this time and makes them.
See,
It's
I
going to be
think Wemby gotta stop it with them goddamn threes. He pissed me off.
he
Nigga,
shot seven threes one game. I think I put him down for two, and he hit like seven, and I was
but
like,
I'm like, Wemby, will
seven
you please?
threes, boy. Like, no, we need the big man shooting. We need the big man shooting. I am all for the big man shooting. I know everybody not like that,
No,
but
I mean,
I'm
I
with
don't
it.
mind. I don't mind big men shooting, but I
Yeah.
think it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, when you 7'6", my nigga, please just go in front of the basket and put your hands up. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's not the advantage that you think we get from you shooting.
They
It's not
still
there
shoot
right now.
over him though. They can still shoot over Wemby. I
Yeah,
seen
well,
multiple small guards shoot over Wemby. All they
I
do
mean,
is hit that little jump
we talking about the
and
most
hit a
skilled
shot
players on
over.
earth.
Like it'd be disrespectful. I'd be like Wemby, you wasn't able to block that. That's crazy.
Hey, the Spurs are gonna win the NBA championship this year.
No, no, they're not.
I
But
just
you can
want to get
hope.
in.
You can hope.
Nah, I'm telling you, they winning the championship.
I'm telling you, they not this year.
Who beating them?
Okay, see,
OKC not beating the Spurs in seven
yes they
games.
are. Now I know this little series that they had, it's been looking crazy, but when they actually come out to play, when the boys actually get out there to play, it
Ain't
looks
nobody trying to
different.
hear.
It looks different during playoff time for OKC.
You know,
It's not the
ain't
same
nobody trying to hear that.
getting all season. But it was
Ain't
cute.
nobody trying.
It was cute. But is there any other thoughts that you have to give before we roll up off of here today?
Nah, that was pretty much. You pretty much summed everything I had to say perfectly.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, if you Houston, you got to wrap up before the All Star break on a really high
Yeah.
note. They got the Clippers, and who else they got? And I think that's it. And I think their last game before the break is tonight versus. I'm looking at the schedule because I thought there was another game, but no, they got the Clippers tonight. No, they got the Clippers tomorrow.
Okay.
No, they have the Clippers tonight and tomorrow. It says February 11th. The Rockets.
And the Rockets are
Uh,
going to take both games.
yeah, they need both games. They
Yeah.
need both games. And are both games in Houston? Let me see. Yep, both games are in Houston. No excuse.
Yeah,
No
they'll
excuse. No back-to-back games on. They got the Tuesday Wednesday special. That would be my favorite if I
we
was an
got
NBA
the
player.
yeah, we got the Pacers at the Knicks tonight. That's gonna be close. I definitely will give the Pacers to cover. It's a +12. I know some people watching they want to hear those, those looks. The Clippers and the Rockets. The Rockets are taking that. Dallas playing the Suns. The Suns are gonna win that, unfortunately. Spurs, Lakers, definitely giving it to the Spurs because Luka Doncic is probably out. And then
Do
yeah,
I?
Wednesday games are what's next.
Um, the All Star break begins after Thursday. So my question to you as a coach: Are you playing? Are you playing Jalen Brunson tonight and tomorrow? They played tomorrow.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think he might.
I'll
I would
play
say
him one or the other. I might play him tonight, but tomorrow he not getting no playing time.
yeah, before the All Star break because I
I mean,
want him to.
tonight he has to play because they're playing the Pacers. But tomorrow they're playing the 76ers. Well, it depends. I mean, they're playing the 76ers at home, and the New York 76ers has kind of been a little cute rivalry going on or whatever. Um,
That's tough. That's tough because part
yeah,
of.
I would probably honestly, but see, you can't rest him against you can't rest him against Ivor. I think they just gonna tire him out. He's just gonna have to be tired. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I
because
can't afford to sit my best player, and like I don't have no other type of offense. Like,
well, the biggest problem
I
is
mean, we got Mikael Bridges and we got OG Ananobi, and that's great. That's awesome. We need someone to put up 30 points, and if Cat not gonna do it, and then Cat, he gonna get into foul trouble, especially when they start playing the Pacers and they bring the big man out on the floor. He gonna likely get into foul trouble because he does the dumbest moves sometimes for no reason. And with Embiid, he can get into foul trouble with the 76ers, so they got to be careful with that as well. But as far as Brunson, if Brunson can be provided space through Mitchell Robinson being able to provide the space to floor the way that he has been when he's been playing more aggressively, I think they'll be fine. They can
here's the
play their bench
problem.
players, but you need someone to space the floor. So if Towns not going to do his job, then we need Mitchell Robinson on the floor.
New York in the same situation as Houston because
Hmm.
right now the 76ers are sixth in the East at 30 wins.
Hmm.
Number two in the East is New York at 34. But check it, number two, number three, number four, number five is just 2 games because number five is Toronto at 32 wins. New York is tied with Boston at 34. So to your point, for real, New York, Boston, Cleveland, Toronto, Philly, they gotta play. They gotta play through Thursday. All
Yeah.
three of them gotta play through Thursday. None of them got an option.
Yeah.
None of that's
No, they
and
want
see
it. Unfortunate.
that's why we always be on here telling these teams you got to take the beginning of the season serious because now if you
Yeah.
Detroit after last night's fight, if I'm Detroit, I'm not playing nobody. I don't even know if Detroit playing tonight. They're not. But
Yeah.
if I'm Detroit, Kate Cunningham not playing tomorrow.
Right.
That's all I know
But
for
they playing the
sure.
Raptors, so they're gonna have to play. Unfortunately, they're playing the Raptors.
They got a cushion though. That's what I'm saying about take care of your wins early. They got a cushion.
Hmm.
So if I'm Detroit, I'm not even engaging with Toronto.
Hmm.
I'm not even tripping. Y'all can play y'all
Toronto's
little
been
hearts
kind of
out.
crap lately, anyway. So
Toronto.
yeah, did you see the last game where what was it? Dick and Kevin Love, and they decided to trade jerseys.
Yeah, loved it. But see, here's the problem with Toronto. Here's the problem with Toronto. Who's gonna be my decision maker in the late in the game,
Scotty
in the
Barnes.
fourth quarter of a playoff game? See,
Scotty
and I'm
Barnes.
out. I'm out. I'm out. Anybody who you name, Scotty Barnes, R.J. Barrett, Brandon Ingram, that's not who I want making decisions for my organization in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. And teams are not. Teams keep thinking about talent, but they keep forgetting the point guard position
Hmm.
because you see Houston. Everybody think we could just put the ball in some guy hand and he a point guard
And
because you
Kevin
see they
Durant.
and no, well no, because they said Amen
Well,
Thompson
they
gonna be
got
a point
yeah,
guard.
Amon Thompson, his assists have been up, so he's been doing a good job as far as
But
directing the ball.
it's
But Reed
bigger.
Shepard can do the same thing for real if you give him space to do it.
It's bigger than just assists though. It's because assists don't always like show ability for decision making and also show ability to create calmness. Because assists can just be people react to me, I pass, he shoot and score. It's the difference between creating
Yeah, but that has
calmness.
to be planned out. You got to know that your shooter is gonna score. You got to know when, like Sengun. Sengun is so good with it. It's like he knows where his shooters are gonna be. He could pass the ball, do that little stupid little ball pass that he does when he throws the ball backwards. Oh, it makes me cringe every time. But he knows where his players are gonna be. He knows where his floor is. And a part of being a point guard is knowing where your players are at on the floor, where you can assist them at.
I just
I
don't
feel
know
like
if I
that's a big
trust.
role for him to fill. And Amon Thompson's not a natural point guard, so that's a hard role for him to fill.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I feel like that is also Toronto in a nutshell. They got a lot of athletes like Amen Thompson who are making decisions with the ball in their hand, and it makes me uncomfortable when I watch it. Especially like I feel like Houston, similar to Toronto, they
Mhm.
if they're going to beat you, it's better that they beat you by 20 because in a close game, I don't trust the decision makers on the floor.
Hmm.
I do not trust them. It's the same thing with Portland. It's the same thing with. I mean, it's a list of teams. I could just. I mean, as we close
Yeah,
it
you
out, I
can.
don't trust the decision makers on Toronto. I don't trust the decision makers for Orlando, Miami, Atlanta. Let me go scroll down. Let's go to the West. I don't trust the decision makers for Houston, for the Lakers, for the Timberwolves, for the Suns, for the Warriors, for the Blazers, for the Clippers. That's it. So I like OKC, San Antonio, Denver in the West, and I like Detroit, New York, Boston, Cleveland in the East. That's it
Hmm.
so far at the halfway point of the season.
Okay,
That's where I'm at.
I like it. Makes
Can't
sense.
trust you. Can't trust. We learned. We got burned last year. We got burned last year. So
I
this
trust
year I'm
Charlotte
taking.
decision making as of lately.
I didn't. That's why I didn't mention them.
Hmm.
Lamelo Ball, like
Yeah,
I'm cool with
they've
that.
been better at decision making as of lately. I've
And they
appreciated.
got Kobe. And they got Kobe White, right, in the
They
trade.
just got him. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
we'll see
yes.
what that looks like. Because he's also a scorer. He plays the one and the two. So I think that's a healthy look for them, most definitely, especially with them losing Colin Sexton. Even though he was a backup. Um,
Charlotte's problem is going to be can they get stopped when they need it?
right.
And the
And I think
answer
they can.
is no.
I think they can.
Yeah, but for multiple playoff rounds, I don't know. That's the difference.
Let's look and see, because Charlotte, a little beast to be reckoned with. So as long as they got everybody in play and everybody stop getting all overly aggressive like the Pistons, they could ruin their chances because of the amount of aggression because the players just want to fight.
That's true.
So, let's see where they can go from here. Moving forward, let's calm down the bad boy attitudes because all it's going to get y'all is suspended, and that's not helping your team. But
I
yeah,
can see that. I can see that.
yeah, it's not helping. We need more players to just, yeah, man. I'm a flex on you, but I ain't gonna shove you in your face. Come on, dog. Jalen Doran, are you serious? How many games he suspended for? I want to know.
I'm not sure,
I'm gonna look
but
it up, but I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe it was just the ejection.
keep
I
this
just
in
like
mind
a lot.
as we head into the All Star break. The number two team in point differential is
Yeah.
the Detroit Pistons. They're beating teams by an average of 7.7 points per game, second to only OKC, who's beating teams by 12 points a game. But
Yeah.
that's something sneaky to watch because
Yeah.
usually the teams that are leading in point differential are usually the teams that end up in the NBA Finals.
We'll see what happens. Excited.
Yeah,
This was cool though. Thank
yeah,
you to my
appreciate it.
guest Simbe for coming on. If you want to let them know where to
100%.
find you.
Man, find me here. You want to hear my opinions? Find me here when Monica sent out the bat signal. That's where I'm gonna be.
Yep, and you can find me at the Trapmas Sportscast on Instagram, the Trapmas Podcast on Instagram. You can also find me at It's Monica Cherie. On Twitter, you can find me at Lola Vivo, LOLAVEVO. You can also find us on YouTube at the Trapmas Sportscast, as we are streaming from there now. You can find us on TikTok at Monica Cherie, Trapmas CEO. So yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in today. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate all the support. And yeah, go Pistons.
Peace, y'all.